My daughter got DNA test for fun, and 33 years of lies unfolded and destroyed us. I'm a 51-year-old man with a 51-year-old wife who I've been married to for 33 years. We have 3 adult children, daughters 29 and 26 and a son 22. My wife and I have had a very normal, loving marriage for 33 years. Actually, 33 as of next month. Sure, we've had ups and downs over the years like any long-term relationship, but we didn't go to bed mad and we're each other's best friends. I'm a hopeless romantic. She's less mushy about romance, but loves when I make romantic gestures, and I do all the time. Love letters, texts, emails. Surprise date nights to do something fun. Last one recently was a couples cooking class, and we had a blast. Every week, usually Saturday and Sunday. Happy home. No complaints at all from either of us. Quick background on me. I had a single mom and do not know my biological father. My mother kept every detail of him a secret and took that secret to the grave with her. My wife and our children have always wondered about that. This year for my birthday, one of my children bought me a DNA test from Ancestry. They said we could maybe discover something about my biological father. Before I took it all, the kids decided they wanted to take one too, since their bloodline also comes from my unknown father. When we got our test results, they were bizarre to say the least. I'm sure some of you have guessed, but my oldest 2 children are not mine. We each got our results separately, but the kids had been talking among themselves before they shared with us, so they asked if we could do a family dinner at our house, and they all came over. Dinner was fine, but they wanted to talk to us about something. Then the bombshell. They said they compared results and that the oldest 2 children are not my kids. The youngest is... They asked if we had anything to tell them. I said, of course not. There has to be a mistake. I looked over at my wife and knew in an instant there was no mistake. She had a look of terror on her face like I've never seen before. At once, this calm, level-headed, wonderful woman I've been married to for 33 years screamed out some kind of gibberish, then ran for the bedroom and locked the door. We all tried to get her to come out, but to no avail. We're all freaking out at this point. She immediately texts our phones and asks that we all leave her alone for a couple hours to compose herself and then reconvene at the table, and she'll join us. We did as she requested, but I'll tell you what, that 2 hours felt like a lifetime, and my brain was on overload as to what the hell was going on. I still figured this had to be some kind of mistake. Of course, the girls were mine. Whose else would they be? My wife and I weren't partiers or swingers. We're Disney Channel people, not Cinemax. She comes out at about the 2-hour mark and asks the kids if they could please go, and that she needed to talk to me alone, and that she'd be sure to let them know what's going on as soon as she can. They protested vehemently, but respected her request and left saying they'll be back if they don't hear something soon. I am sitting there just blown away at this point, like this isn't real, like I'm watching a movie except that I'm in the movie. She then tells me something that has caused permanent change in me. I hope not permanent, but it feels permanent. She looks me straight in the eyes and says my name. I had an affair many years ago. It was with one of our neighbors and friends from the same social circle at the time. It went on for about 4 years until I wised up and realized what a wonderful husband I had, and that I needed to grow up and stop acting stupid. Then she put her hands on my cheeks to pull me in, and still looking in my eyes said, "You are my everything. I am your girl for life. I love you with all my heart. I did a very stupid and selfish thing many years ago. You did nothing wrong. You've been the best husband any woman could ever ask for, and I hope we try to put this in perspective and recognize what a wonderful life we've had together, and that we don't want this stupid, hurtful mistake to ruin it." She then said she'd do whatever I wanted, answer any question, leave if I ask, but kept assuring me that I'm her everything, and that once she realized how stupid she was being, she's never even once thought about cheating on me for a second since it ended. The man she cheated with is no longer alive. They didn't love each other but had convinced themselves that this sexual outlet from their marriages made them better spouses. What devastates me is that my daughters are not my biological children. They are also devastated. They want to know details about this man since he's their real father. And that also kills me. They both assure me that I'm their father, and they love me with all their hearts, but we all know I'm not their father. The other man was. It's also worth noting that, until this DNA test, my wife also never knew for sure. What devastates me is that the woman I held in the highest regard as far as love, respect, esteem, etc., carried on an affair for years. The woman that has loved me and honored me for decades also betrayed me. What devastates me is the question, was my whole adult life at this point a lie? Was my entire marriage a lie? Is nothing real still in this world. She has been an amazing wife and partner. I've had zero complaints my entire marriage, even when she was cheating. What devastates me is this man died a few years ago of cancer and that I can't go talk to him man to man and possibly punch his lights out. What devastates me is that I was her first and only. I had only one previous teenage awkward quickie in the backseat of a car with a former girlfriend before my wife, but that was it for me. Now I find out she was having regular with this man for years. How can I get over that? This all happened pretty recently. Next month is our 33rd anniversary, and I just don't know what to do. I asked her to leave, and she has been staying with her sister and her husband. She is absolutely devastated. So am I. Everyone I've talked with about this says that I've had an amazing life with my wife. She's a great wife and mother. She made a horrible mistake when she was very young, and to not let this ruin us. I get that over and over, and logically, I know that's all true. But my heart right now is not being logical. I was really happy with my life. I loved my wife and children with all my heart. Can I ever get back to that state, or has this revelation permanently altered the course of my life? I'm absolutely lost right now, and honestly wish I was dead. I'm very seriously considering taking care of that. If I can't forgive her and forget this, then I'm gonna kill myself. I have no interest in living a different life than what we've had. I'm not that fond of the world anyway, except for my family. Update, I'm still numb and in shock. I'm going to take some time for that to wear off before I consider my future. I've talked to my sister-in-law, and she said my wife is a blubbering mess, telling her she always knew this was going to come back to haunt her, and that she had tried so hard over the years to make up for what she had done. They're trying to get her to go to a shrink, the same as my friends and family are trying to do for me. I haven't decided to stay in this world or not. I'm still thinking on it. I have no fear of dying. I've had a great life to this point. I have zero interest in any other life. A new life, a changed life, whatever. That doesn't appeal to me. I have to figure out if there is a path back to the life I had built with my wife and family. If there is, I'll stay. If not, I won't. Second update. I asked my wife to come back about 10 days ago. Our 33rd wedding anniversary is tomorrow. We're all like zombies these days. I don't know how to process this. I'm not seeing a therapist or anyone right now. I've confided in a few people, but don't really have a close confidant. My wife has served that role for the last 33 years. Obviously, I didn't kill myself and have decided not to no matter what. I had that all worked out. I have even investigated all the legalities and insurance loopholes of what suicide means as far as life insurance, pension death benefits, etc. It would all be covered. My wife and children would still get the benefits they'd get if I died of natural causes. The relationship is different with my daughters. We all proclaim our love and that I'm still their dad constantly, but it seems like we're trying to convince ourselves of that as much as anyone else. It's still different now, and I don't know if it can ever be the same. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I can never be the same. Of all the damn things to trip up my wife's secret, a silly ancestry DNA test. She was going to take this secret to the grave, according to her and the only other human being that knew, her sister. This has haunted her for decades. She knew what she was risking losing, and once it was over, the fog had cleared. She knew how stupid, selfish, and immature she had been. She's the baby of her family. She was daddy's girl and very spoiled when we first got together. The other man's family has been informed. We, daughters and I, felt that since they are in his bloodline that his family should know. Needless to say, there are some very shocked people on their side. Welcome to the club. My daughters have been introduced to some half-siblings they never knew they had. They're good girls and constantly shower me with, "You're my dad forever. I love my papa," and all that, and I do appreciate it, but it's not the same. It just isn't. They aren't my flesh and blood. They never were.